Okay, so hopefully you got on okay with that assignment. I'm just going to cover where I've put my enemies and show you how they've been set up. So at the moment I have enemy 1 selected. Enemy 1 is just in this area at the top, and obviously what we were working on enemy 4 before was over here in the main street area. Enemy 2 is just over here in front of this mansion. Enemy 3 is behind the mansion. Enemy 5 is all the way over here. This is next to this house. And enemy 6 is just here. So I'm going to use enemy 6 just to cover the process again, in case if you weren't sure exactly what the assignment covered. So we're just going to set this character up. I've set all the other characters up. I'm just going to do this one. So first of all, just right click, 3D object, cube. Alright, so we just set a nav cube, just put that into position. Let's make it a little bit bigger, might even be bigger still, a bit wider, a bit more in this way. And let's get rid of the mesh renderer, so we're going to remove that component, turn this into a trigger collider, box collider. This is going to be called nav cube. Go back to enemy 6 and let's find the enemy move script. Let's right click, copy component, over to nav cube, at the top right click, paste component as new. Alright, that's all set up. Back to enemy 6, we're going to remove the enemy move script and we're going to drag the enemy attack onto enemy 6. Okay, the patrol is the nav cube, so let's just drag that into place. Then we need to go and find our first person player. The first person controller is going to go into the player slot, and the chase music is going to go into the chase music slot. Everything else should be good, it's all set up fine. Okay, and then with enemy 6 selected, we're now going to increase the Z on the box collider. This one I might go up to about 18, and then I'm going to take the Z on the center and just move it forward until it's just slightly behind him. So now he's looking out. Let's just take a look at this. Alright, some of the characters might be able to see further than others, and the actual width might be a little bit bigger. Okay, some characters can see far around them, some characters have more kind of tunnel vision. Now this is the character holding the gun, so you probably don't want this character seeing too far. In fact, I might even make this a little bit smaller. Just bring it back on the Z a little bit, because it would be a bit unfair if the character's really far away and just shooting you. Okay, great, and now we have to modify the nav mesh. So 0.5 becomes 1, so it's a lot bigger. And now go back to the nav cube and let's just make this slightly bigger, so that when we check it, it's beyond the size of the nav mesh agent. Okay, good, so that's all set up. Hopefully you've done that with all of your enemies and taken all of these target cubes and put them into the right positions. Okay, so now I want to focus on this animation. If I can find my character, enemy 4, just double click to get a little bit closer. When he stops in front of one of these targets, he kind of just instantly assumes the next position. So let's click on animator, and we've got walking with axe and then look around with axe. So let's just click on this transition between the two. And what we can see is that he walks and then instantly he does this. Okay, what we want is a much finer transition. So I'm just using my roller ball to come in here a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just simply click and drag this little blue triangle, and I click it back a bit and click it further this way as well. Okay, I'm now going to zoom out a bit. So now what will happen is he's walking and then he'll stop. Okay, so it feels a lot more fluid. Yeah. So if I now click play, So there we go. Okay, so you can just see it playing in the preview area. Make it a bit bigger so you can see it. Drag this all the way back to the beginning. So now he's walking, and then he stops like this. So it's not so sudden. Now, because we've made that nav mesh agent a little bit bigger, it's got more time to do this without sliding around. So there should be enough time now. So test it out in your game, see if that's made a difference. Hopefully it has, and just refine it until you've got it just right. And obviously see how far you can get through the game without actually getting spotted by any enemies. See if it is possible, and if you do get spotted by enemies, see how quickly you can outrun them. Okay, that's it for this section. In the next section we'll be working on the combat mechanics and actually attacking the enemies and getting them to attack us.